back on Off The Leash. We're joined by Matt Olson. Matt, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Platypus.
All right, Matt. Matt, where is the school you came from, and what's your major?
So I go to Mankato State, right down the road, as many of us do, and my major is sports management.
What was your original hometown?
Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. It's about an hour and a half from here, about 13 short minutes from Minneapolis.
You play any sports in high school? Any good?
Define good. I was a good athlete. I was a solid athlete. Our school was just full of a lot of really good athletes that you and I have discussed, and I ended up finding golf. My senior year was my only lettered sport, surprisingly. But anyway.
That deserves a big congratulations. Matt, how did you hear about the Mankato Moondogs?
So Walker is our one of the staffers that we have with us, and he sends out these emails just constantly. And I eventually was like, hey, I got some interest and I needed a lot of internship hours. And he was like, well, this would be great for you. So I interviewed, they liked me, and here we are.
What was the thing that made you click on the email? Was it Walker's constant? Because his emails are legendary. I save them all on my email drive. What made you want to click on it?
So, actually it's funny because Walker helped me a little bit with my my classes, and we zoomed over FaceTime a little bit, and he was like, hey, I do this thing with the Moondogs. I'm like, what are the Moondogs? And I only knew because of the Northwoods League, because I had a friend play here, and he loved it, and I was like, this seems pretty cool, let's give it a whirl. And I met with Walker and Tyler, and Tyler really impressed me, obviously, as everyone that knows Tyler, he does, and I was in from there, so here we are.
Tyler may be a perfect human. You don't meet a lot of perfect humans, but he is, yes.
Yeah.
So what's your role with the team?
So I'll be the promotions guy this summer. You'll see me running around in the field, making kids' nights, if you will, dealing with a lot of kids all the time, running around the park. There's always something to do, it feels like. You've been around long enough. Everyone else that comes here, they got a lot of hats to hold, and we have a lot of fun with it, though. So I'm really pleased with how things have gone this summer.
You got to hear your voice a lot over the stadium mics. How is that? Are you adjusting to that? Are you okay with that? What's that like?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I have gotten used to it. I've always kind of heard my voice, though, because I used to work with Caribou, and kind of you have to hear yourself over the mic a lot. So I've been kind of used to it, and I never really get used to liking it, though. I don't know about you. I hate my voice, but other people like it, so it's all that matters, I guess.
What made you want to go into promotions compared to like doing ticketing or group sales?
Well, one, it's a lot more hours, it feels like. For my internship, I do need quite a bit of them, if I'm being honest. But it was more of the people side of it. You know, I like dealing with people. This is a people business that we are in, above all else. Sports are really nice, but this is a people business. You know, you gotta make people's experiences great, and I thought this was a good role for me. You know.
What's your favorite part of being a part of the team? Because when you come in, you're immediately a family member, as I've been graced.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite part?
Well, we talked about earlier playing sports growing up all the time. I kind of missed feeling a part of a team, if you will, and this is certainly giving me that joy again, especially in baseball. I kind of haven't really, I like baseball. The Twins have been good the last couple of years, but that's kind of it. Now I've kind of found my love into baseball again, which is really nice. I haven't had that in probably about 4 or 5 years, but it's been really family oriented. We really strive ourselves on liking each other. We all get along really well, and it's a nice little community we got going so far.
So what's your favorite part about Mankato, veering off not the Moondogs specifically, but is it Tav on the Ave? Is it the people? Is it the golf courses? What is it?
It's definitely not the golf courses. I do enjoy Tav. It's I was in Bemidji for a while, and this is a bigger step than that, obviously. But I don't know. I would say the people are great. The location's great. I get to be pretty close to my family. If anything crazy happens in my world, it's nice to be able to ship back home. And then I love the university. The classes are great. I've met a lot of really good people. There's a lot of really good opportunities there, and I couldn't speak higher of Mankato.
So the Northwoods League is used as a stepping stone to bigger and better jobs. What are you trying to strive for? What's the dream job? What's Matt Olson's goal in life here?
Well, like I said to you prior, I rehearsed this. I really want to be the Timberwolves GM someday. I would really enjoy bringing a championship home to the city. I'll be stopping with the Vikings shortly after this, get to watch some games, do some really cool internship stuff. So, like you said, a stepping stone at the very least. But I will. I'm already feeling like I'll miss you guys a lot, and we're still like 3 months left in the season. It's kind of weird. if I'm being honest. So it's been really fun.
So I know you have a lot of things to do. Busy day right now.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to the Mankato Moondog fans before we break?
Just thank you guys for coming out in numbers. It's been really fun so far. We've had a couple of crazy games, to say the least, with the lights going off on opening night. But thank you guys for coming out, supporting, and really giving us a home field advantage.
Matt, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That has been that intern spotlight. We're joined by the music man, Tyler Mossak. Mozak, thanks for being here.
No problem.
Tyler, let's get a little background on you for the fans. You're in the booth a lot. We don't get to see you. Where do you go to school, and what's your major?
I currently go to Minnesota State Mankato, and my major is sport management.
You enjoying that so far?
I am thoroughly enjoying it.
Where's your hometown? Are you originally from here, or?
I'm from Big Lake, Minnesota, which is around kind of by like St. Cloud, Monticello.
Tyler, are there big lakes in Big Lake, Minnesota?
There's one.
Only one big lake. You heard it here. So Mozak, you went to Minnesota State. Going to, correct?
Yes.
How did you hear about the dogs?
I heard it from Walker himself.
Really? Did you meet Walker? Was it an email? Because Walker's a big man on campus here.
It's actually a funny story. So I work with marketing promotions for MSU Athletics, and I picked Walker as contestant during a men's hockey game.
No way. And Walker's like, hey, do you want to put her in there? You want to work for the dogs?
That he was. I actually told him about how I applied for another job, and he's like, hey, why don't you apply to the Rocks? The Moondogs.
You're okay. No pressure here. No pressure here. So Tyler, what's your role with the team? I already said a little bit, but speak on it. It's a lot of pressure. Talk about your game-by-game process.
So I run the music for primarily the entire game. So I have to the inning songs or walk-up songs, get the crowd into it, keep them hyped throughout the game, and really get in the pitcher's head.
I personally get nervous calling the games. Do you get nervous ever? Because everyone has to hear you.
I do get nervous at times. There are times when I feel like I might screw up and it's going to be heard throughout the stadium. But normally I'm pretty confident.
Is there a song you constantly go back to or play over and over? Is there something that you love just to hear on the loudspeaker?
That's a really good question. I don't think there really is a particular one. I just shuffle through like a lot of them. But I can't really name a song off the top of my head. I think Get Up would be a good one. I feel like that one would get the crowd going.
I'm a big Tom Petty guy myself. Whenever I hear Tom Petty in the ballpark, I always freak out. But you make a lot of people's nights. You're a part of the entertainment group. How does that make you feel that you're providing entertainment to thousands of people every night?
When we had that first rain delay on the first game, and I got the crowd into it, it felt very great to be able to communicate with the crowd and keep them going, even though we weren't playing any baseball.
You work very closely with Mr. Mike McKenna. How is that?
I think he's a pretty nice guy, actually, honestly. He does pretty good announcing, and I think you're pretty good on their timing as well, so we're not interrupting each other.
I've been at a lot of ballparks. I've never met a PA guy like Mike McKenna. We'll hopefully have him on. But what's been your favorite part of the team so far?
My favorite part of the team would probably be the crowd interaction that the crowd gives during games.
Going back to your role, how does it feel that you don't get any recognition for that? Everyone just sees you up there. They don't know it's you playing those funny sounds. What's it like kind of being the man behind the curtain?
I feel like I don't really need the recognition, I feel like. I just feel like, as long as the crowd's into it, I'm all good.
Tyler Mossak, a very humble man. What's been your favorite part about being on the Moondog staff? Is it the people? Is it the food we get? Is it the hot dogs? What is it?
It is honestly the people I work with. It makes it a very enjoyable experience.
Would you say it's a family atmosphere?
I would say it's
I like that a lot. Tyler, veering off the path a little bit, what is your favorite part of Mankato?
I really haven't been around Mankato for mostly because I usually stay around campus. But I would have to say probably a highlight would be the Olsen.
Ooh, that's an answer I did not expect. Now, we always talk about the Northwoods League as a stepping stone. What are you trying to do with your life after this? Are you trying to stay here? Are you trying to build to a bigger sports career? What's the goal here for Tyler?
My goal is to build through working with professional hockey at some point.
Interesting. That's a very bold strategy, Todd. Tyler, one more question for you. I know you got to get your turntables ready for tonight. What do you want to say to the Moondog faithful?
I would like to say that, keep the crowd energy, keep it going, and let's get in that pitcher's head.
It has been Tyler Mossak, and we'll be right back after this intern spotlight. Mozak. Welcome back to Off The Leash. This week we have outfielder and infielder Kai Roberts. Kai, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Kai, a little background information on you. Where do you go to school and where's your hometown?
Yeah, I go to University of Utah. I was born and raised in Utah, just 30 minutes south of Salt Lake City, in a little town called Lehigh, Utah, where I was born and raised, same house.
Cool. Kai, I love people who are coached by their dad in high school. What was that like process like?
Yeah, so my dad got the job at my high school. I went to a new high school, so he was the first coach there, and he took that job, and I didn't really want to play for him at the start, to be honest, because we'd bump heads a little bit when we were training together, but turned out to be a really great experience, and I grew closer with him, and I'm happy that he took that job, and we were able to have those memories on the field together.
Do you credit him for getting as far as you have?
Absolutely, yeah. Talk baseball nonstop, me and him. I'm really happy he's in my life and in part of my career.
Is that why you chose to stay home at the University of Utah, or do you have any other offers?
Yeah. I had a couple other offers, but I want to stay close to home and be able to go hit with my dad when I had off days, and be able to have him come watch me and watch more than just a couple games if I were out of state.
Have you declared a major yet in Utah?
I think I'm leaning towards business management, but I haven't declared yet. I'm going to declare this next fall.
A lot of Minnesotans want to know what Utah's like, Kai. Can you tell us, is it beautiful? Do you go hiking? What do you do there?
Yeah, I love Utah, man. It's pretty much opposite here. Not a lot of trees, big mountains, not a lot of water, but I mean there's a little bit. Love to fish, love to hike, love camping. I love being outdoors. Yeah, that's what I like to do in Utah.
Kai, a lot of Minnesotans like to fish too. What are we fishing for out there?
Trout only. That's the only thing I've ever caught out there. Just trout up in high reservoirs.
Are you jigging? Are you trolling? Or what's going on? I need to know.
I like to go spinner and fly.
Woo! Kai Roberts, a man of many talents. Kai, what was it like coming to Mankato? Did your coach help you out? Did Wally reach out to you? What was that like?
Yeah, so my coach reached out and just told me, hey, you're going to go to Mankato, Minnesota. Never heard of it before, but really happy I'm here. I love this place. I'm having a great time so far.
So what is your dream ultimately? To go pro? Is it to be a hitting coach like we talked to Gary Williams earlier? What's your dream, Kai?
My dream, I want to play for a career, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to coach. I want to play.
Going back to on the field, you transitioned back to third base. First time since your freshman year, correct?
Yep.
How was that? Was that nerve-wracking? Were you scared? Or Wally's like, hey, you're playing third. You're like, I got it, coach. What was that like?
No, I was just taking ground balls for fun. Wally's like, hey, can you play third? We're short guy. I said, sure. Went over. I was a little nervous for the throw more than the fielding, but I mean, it turned out okay.
Kai, you're a guy who walks a lot. So what's your approach to at the plate? Are you looking to take that first pitch, or what do you think when you go up there?
No, I'm just looking for a fastball, and that's all I look. The whole bat until 2 strikes. If I get it, I try and put it in play.
I have a crush on player comps. Who is your player comp to you?
I replicate my game. I try to play like Christian Yelich.
Really?
Yeah. He's a tall, lanky guy like me, and outfielder. And I think we're similar bodies, and that's who I try to play like.
Being a West Coast kid, I totally was like Bellinger. That is like, you kind of got the same swing, but he kind of comes here, you're more here.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Yep.
How's it been being in Mankato so far? You loving it?
Love it. Love this place.
And
Great people and
sorry.
great environment.
I have one question for you before we go. What was it like stealing home? Was that a thrill? Was that a joyride? We got Mary in here. Mary's like, oh my God, I got a picture of Kai stealing home. She was freaking out. Were you exhilarated? Was it like riding a roller coaster? For some of us, we never get to steal home. So what was that like?
He was really long in the windup, so I just asked Wally, hey, can I steal home? And he said, sure. So I said, I got to do it at least once in my life. So I went for it. It turned out for the best.
Kai, you're very mild-mannered when you play baseball. How do you not get excited like that? You're kind of just a little fist bump after that. Were you freaking out on the inside or what?
No, I'm a pretty mellow guy. I stay the same, or try to stay the same most of the time. I don't know, that's just my personality. I don't get too high or too low. I just kind of stay in the middle.
I know you got to take batting practice, so what do you want to say to the fans before you go?
Hey, come out to ISG Field. Let's get this place rocking.
Okay, that was Kai Roberts on our player profile, and thanks for tuning in.